Hey, good morning, class. So today we're looking at the freedom, the paper one that you guys have written. So in these couple of videos, we're going to go through the memo of this paper. The paper can be found in the description box below. Okay. So question one says, given the equation f of x equal to x plus 2 times x 3x minus 5. The question says solve for x if f of x is equal to 0. Yes, Michael? Huh? No. Scissors. Scissors. I don't have the chicken, one of those three. Okay. So solve for x if f of x is equal to 0. There isn't, I don't have. So that is f of x. So in other words, it's x plus 2 equals 0, or 3x minus 5 is equal to 0. So x equal to negative 2, or x is equal to 5 over 3. It's 1 for each one, 1 more for each. Okay. Let's go with 1.2. F of x is equal to 5. Now f of x is, of course, x plus 2, 3x minus 5 is equal to 5. Okay. So we multiply this out, I get 3x squared minus 5x plus 6x minus 10 minus 5 is equal to 0. I bring that over the equal sign. So 3x squared plus x minus 15 is equal to 0. I can either use the quadratic formula, or I can use the trinomial rules, or I can use this calculator here. So I press mode, equation number 5 and 3. So it's 3, 1 minus 15. That one doesn't have rational roots, okay? So you must use a quadratic formula here. Yes, so remember, very importantly, for this question here, we must show our substitution. Okay? If you're not going to show your substitution, you automatically lose 2 marks. Okay? So we show the substitution here. X is equal to minus b plus minus the square root of, remember that's b, that is a, and this is c. B squared, so it's 1 squared minus 4, a is 3, and c is negative 15 over 2, and my a value, of course, is 3. So x is one of 2 values. Okay? The one being 2,78. 2,78. Sorry. 2,08. And of course, the other is equal, is negative 2,41. Okay, this question here, also, very importantly, we're showing the substitution as well as you are rounding off. Okay, if you round off incorrectly at this point, you lose another mark. Okay, so it's very, very important for this question to show the substitution into the quadratic formula and to get your solutions out to 2 decimal places. Okay, that's how you get your 4 marks there. The next question says, where's f of x less than 0? The sum of. So what we do is we first say, okay, where's f of x less than 0? Let's take that part first. So in other words, it's going to be x, x plus 2 and 3x minus 5. So x plus 2 and 3x minus 5 must be less than or equal to 0. Okay? What are my critical values here? Please do not say at this point x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to. Automatically you're going to lose everything thereafter. Your right critical values, of course, is negative 2 and 5 over 3, or your 0 values. So in other words, The graph is smiling, we've got negative 2 and 5 over 3. So it has to be less than 0, so it's that part there. Okay. Now coming back to the question says, what is the sum of, where x is an element of integers? What are integers? Positive and negative whole numbers. Not so. So, can I consider the minus 2? Remember, the solution on this should be x is greater than or equal to negative 2 or less than or equal to 5 over 3. Can I consider negative 2 here as a solution? Yes, plus. Why am I adding? Because of the sum of. Okay, so it's negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1. And of course, 2 is on this side. So I'm not going to consider 2. Remember that 5 over 3 is also 1 and 2 over 3. Remember, I'm adding the integers between negative 2 and 5 over 3. So if I do my addition, the answer is simply negative 2. Okay. Of course, there are 3 marks there. You get it up until this point here. So your critical values is 1 point. Your inequality is 1 mark. And getting for negative 2 is another mark. Okay. Then it says, where is f of x over 2x minus 1 undefined? When will something be undefined? If the denominator is equal to 0. So it's 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to half. 1 mark there. Now we're going to the simultaneous equation question. We got 2 to the x whole squared is equal to 32 over y, 2 to the y, and x minus y minus 1 is equal to 0. What's wrong, Anawi?
That's not the question. That's not my question.
Sorry?
That's not my question.
It is not 1.2. I think this is 1.2. That question I've rearranged. No? Yeah, so just mark it accordingly. Okay. So when you went for moderation, so they just moved it around. Okay, which made no sense. Did make no sense. Okay. Right, so let's go to the next one. Now, 2 to the x squared is equal to 32 can be written as 2 to the exponent 5. Not so. So this is over 2y. So I bring that up. So it's 2 to the x all squared is equal to 2 to the 5 minus 1. Therefore, x squared is equal to 5 minus y. This is equation 1. Okay. This is on the other end. We make x a subject of the formula here. So x is equal to y plus 1. And this is equation 2. So whenever you share x, you put the y plus 1. So in other words, we have y plus 1 squared equals 5 minus y. Solve for y, so it's going to be y squared plus 2y plus 1 minus 5 plus y is equal to 0. So y squared plus 3y minus 4 is equal to 0. Trinomial. So we got y and y, 4 and 1, plus and minus. Now conclude therefore, y is equal to negative 4, or y is equal to 1. So now we substitute that back into there. So therefore x is equal to minus 4 plus 1, which is negative 3, or x is equal to y 1 plus 1, which is 2. Any confusion there? Okay. Just let me stop me if there was something I've not explained to you, okay? Of course, how did we mark this? Maybe 1 mark for getting that out there. So it's 1, 2, we're doing a substitution, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. So if you feel at any point that I mismarked you, you can bring it to me at the end of the session. Okay. Alright, so the question again says simplify the expression. So what do we do first? We write each base into products of its prime factors. So 2 to the x times 8 can be written as 2 cubed raised to the x plus 2 over 4 can be written as 2 squared raised to the 3x times 2 to the minus 2x. To get rid of the brackets, multiply the exponents, so it's 2 to the x times 2 to the 3x plus 6 over 2 to the 6x times 2 to the minus 2x. When you're multiplying it, bases are the same, we add the exponents, so it's 2 to the x plus 3x plus 6 minus 6x plus 2x. When we divide it, bases are the same, we subtract the exponents. So 3x plus x is 4x, minus 6x is minus 2x, plus 2x is 0. So I'll have 2 to the 6. And 2 to the 6 is 64. Okay. Of course, there are 3 marks for this question. 1 for writing products of its prime factors. 1 for applying the rule properly of when you're multiplying it based on the same, you add the exponents. And we divide, we subtract the exponents. And of course, your final answer there. Okay, it's 3 marks. Consider the quadratic equation. You got negative px squared plus 6x minus p is equal to 0, where p is not equal to 0. For which value or values of x will the equation have non-real roots? Under what condition will a quadratic have non-real roots? If delta is less than 0. Okay. So what is delta in this case? It's b squared minus 4ac. That is also known as your discriminant. Okay. As you can see here, your a value is of course minus p, your b value is 6, and your c value is negative p. Remember, it must be in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c when I do that conclusion. Okay, so we go with delta, which is b, which is 6 squared minus 4, a is minus p, and c is negative p, which is 36 minus 4p squared. And of course, for non-real roots, we say delta is less than 0, which means you say it's negative. So 36 minus 4p squared must be less than 0, divided by 4. So we get 9 minus p squared is less than 0. Okay. So of course this is a quadratic here. So it's 3 and 3, p and p, plus and minus. So your critical values of course is 3 and minus 3. Okay. So now, if I get your graph is negative 3 and 3. This is y is equal to 0. Less than is below this line. Okay, so therefore, p has to be greater than negative 3, but less than 3. And now I'll mark this question here. I gave you 1 for getting the discriminant in terms of p. And then for introducing that, the right inequality ring. And then 1 on your solution. Okay, 3 marks. Let's go to question 2. In question 2, we are told you are given the sequence 2, 3, 4 over 3, sorry, 6 over 7, 18 over 19, 54 over 55. But what we notice here, we notice the denominator is 1 more than the denominator. So whatever the numerator is, I just add 1 for the numerator. So the question says write down the next term in the sequence. So if you look at, how do I move from 2 to 6, 6 to 18? I'm multiplying it by 3 all the time, not so? So 54 times 3, give you an answer of, whoops, 54 times 3, 162. So that's 162 over 162. Okay, you all agree with that? Then they say determine the general term for the determine the general term in the sequence. So I got 2, 6, 18, 54, and so on. So we said we're multiplying this by 3 all the time. So this is a geometric progression. So Tn is equal to ARn minus 1. So Tn is equal to 2 times R is 3 n minus 1. Okay, so that is the general term for the numerator. Can you see that? So therefore, the general term of this pattern is going to be 2 times 3n minus 1 over 2 times 3n minus 1 plus 1. As it's 1 more than the numerator. Okay. 1 on the numerator, 1 on the denominator, and of course 1 on the general term. The next question in 2.2, we are told that the ladder has 11 equal rungs. So what is a rung? A piece, the cross piece in the ladder. As you can see, these are considered as the rungs. Okay. A rung decreases in length by a constant difference from rung to rung. As you move up the ladder, the length of the bottom rung is 70 centimeters. So that is 70 centimeters there. And the top rung is 50 centimeters. Which rung counting from the bottom has a length of 58? Okay. So firstly, I must get a general term here. Okay. So if there are 11 rungs and we make this A, then that is going to be, of course, 11, or vice versa. Okay. So why did I make that A? Because that's a T1, the first term in the sequence. Okay. So T11 is equal to A plus, or Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1t. So T11, of course, is going to be 70 plus n minus 1, which is 10, times d is what I'm calculating is equal to 50. So, of course, I can plot that. So that's going to give us 50 minus 70 is negative 20, divided by 10 is negative 2. So each rung is going to be decreasing with every move by 2 centimeters. Okay. So which rung from the bottom has 58 centimeters? So Tn is equal to 58. So Tn is going to be A, which is 70, plus n minus 1 times negative 2 is equal to 58. Which now gives us negative 2 into n minus 1 is equal to, now 58 minus 70 is negative 12. Okay? So divided by 2, so n minus 1 is equal to 6. So n is equal to 7. So therefore the 7th rung will have a length of 52 centimeters. Okay. Now did I mark this here? I gave you 2 marks for getting out D. Okay, and then for equating, using this equation, and then for getting rung 7, 4 marks. Okay. Let's go to the next question. You must get a sigma question, okay? People, for those of you who forgot, when you go with sigma, that is your starting point, this is your ending point, this is your general term, and that is S. Okay. So determine the expression for T and if. Now you see this here is Sn. You see that, people? So how do we work out the general term? If you are given the sum of terms and you want to calculate the fifth term, how do you calculate the fifth term? It's going to be S5 minus S4. Want to work out the 21st term? It's S21 minus S20. If I want to work out the nth term, it will be Sn minus 1. Okay. So with that in mind, Tn is going to be Sn minus 1. What is Sn? Sn is n plus 1 into 2n plus 3 minus. So whenever I see an n, I put a n minus 1. So there's going to go n minus 1 and there's going to go n minus 1. Okay? So it's going to be n minus 1 plus 1 times 2 into n minus 1 plus 3. So from here, it's just a matter of tidying up the sum. So that's going to give you 2n squared. That's going to give you 3n. It's going to give you 5n plus 3 minus. That, of course, cancel. Leaves you with an n into 2n minus 2 plus 3 is plus 1. So it's going to be 2n squared plus 5n plus 3 minus 2n squared minus n gives you 4n plus 3. And that's my general term. Okay. Otherwise, what you could have done was you could have worked out the sum of 3 terms or 4 terms. Then you subtract it and you get T1, T2, T3, and then work out the general term. Okay. Let's go to the next question. So here we are told that, because you see we're standing on the side of a still dam, picks up a flat stone and throws it horizontally across the water. The stone flies 300 meters, 30 meters, sorry, through the air and then bounces several times across the surface of the lake, before finally coming to a rest and cease. The distance d in meters that the stone travels after each bounce in on the water is given by the equation dn, which is distance in 1, or tn, is equal to 18 into a half to the exponent in minus 1. How far does the stone travel after the fourth bounce? So that is fairly simple. Fourth bounce is d4 with the distance. It's going to be 18 into a half, 4 minus 1. Okay. So it's going to be 18 into 0.5 to the exponent 3. Be 2 comma 1 5. Okay, meters. 2 comma 2 5 meters. Okay. So let's go to the next question. After how many bounces, after which bounce does the stone travel less than 30 centimeters for the first time. So if you look at this information given here, this is in meters. Can you see that? So in other words, this centimeters I must first convert to meters. Okay? So what I do is I say, okay, how many centimeters are there in a meter? 100, so I divide by 100, so that's going to give you 0.3 meters. So of course that is 18 into half. N minus 1 must be less than 0.3. Okay. So that's going to be half. N minus 1 has to be less than. So you say 0.3 divided by 18 gives us 1 over 60. Okay. Gives you 1 over 60. So now we're going to change it to logs. Okay. That's going to step away from the inequality. So logs, it will be the exponents n minus 1 is equal to log 1 over 6 base a half. So n is equal to, you punch that into our calculator, log base 0.5 and 1 over 6. Right? 60. Why 6? That was 0.3 divided by 18. Or 60, not 6. Okay? Let's put this up here again. So 60. 5.9 plus 1, 6.9. Okay, now this is an inequality now. Okay, so you be a bit weird here. So what I do normally is, I say, okay, what if n was 6 and n is 7? Okay, so what we do is, you don't have to do it this way. If you understand inequality really well, then you don't have to do it this way. But put n is 6, so it will be half 6 minus 1. Is that less than 60? And a half 7 minus 1, is that less than 60? So after which bounds does the stone travel less than? So once you put this line in a calculator, you get 0.5 to the exponent 5. That gives you 0.0 3167 3125, and then 1 over 60 gives you 0.01667. So is the first one true? No. Okay, as you can see, this is greater. Okay, which means to say it's still more than 30 centimeters. So if you now consider 0.5 to the 7 minus 1, which is 0.5 to the 6, there we get 0.01565. And of course that is still the same. Okay? Is that now of course less than? Yes. So therefore, after the 7 pounds, would that be the case? Okay. So after the 7 pounds, that would be the case. Okay. I would say take an extra minute to sort this out here so that we answer the question properly. Okay. And then what is the total distance traveled by the stone before it sinks? So as we know that the stone will bounce until it comes to rest and it sinks. So that would give us the sum of infinity. That's a over 1 minus r. So the first bound with the first, what's the name, it travels 18, 18, 18 meters in your first bound. It has an R value. If you look at your formula here, your R value, of course, of half. Okay? So S infinity is simply going to be 18 over 1 minus R, which is half. And of course, that's going to be 18 over 1 minus 0.5. Gives you 36 meters. Okay. So the total distance, therefore, your total distance is going to be 36 plus. Now, the initial distance that the stone travels before this formula comes into play, of course, is 30. So therefore, it's going to be 66 meters. The stone will travel. Okay, and that is 3 marks there. And how did I mark this? I gave you 1 mark for getting R out, 1 mark for linking it to the sum to infinity formula, and 1 mark on that answer there. Okay, which gives you 3 marks in total. Let's go to question 3. I feel for some of you I'm moving too slow, so you guys are talking in the background there. Okay, or you feel like you got a good mark for your test. Consider the following sequence. We got 10, 4, p minus 3, and 1. The given pattern has a second common difference. Prove that p is equal to 4. So if it has a second common difference, then that means to say that this is a quadratic pattern. So it's going to be 10, 4, p minus 3, 1, and so on. So how do I move from one term to the next? I subtract 6. There, of course, going to be p minus 3 minus 4, which is p minus 7. That there is going to be 1 minus p minus 3, which is minus p plus 2, plus 4. Okay. Now, of course, it has a second common difference. So this is what I'm going to set equal to each other. Okay. So it's going to be p minus 7 minus 6 is p minus 1. And then, of course, minus p plus 4 minus p minus 7. It's minus p plus 4 minus p plus 7. It's minus 2p plus 11. Now it becomes a matter of solving for p. It's going to be 3p is equal to 12. P, of course, is equal to 4. People, when the question says, prove that, then I can't use 4 in the solution. I must end off with that. Okay? So my number pattern now reads, just write it here, I'm sure I'm going to use it. It's going to be 10, 4, 4 minus 3 is 1, and 1, and so on. Okay. Again, it was 2 marks. So 1 mark for setting it equal to each other and solving, and then 1 mark for your first difference. Okay, so the answer was given already. So we can't give you a mark for that. Yeah. Then it says determine the term 25. So what we need to do first is, we first need to get the general term. Not so. So how do I do that? That's going to give you minus 6, minus 3, 0. How do I move from there to there? I'm adding 3. I'm adding 3. Many of you wrote minus 3. Okay. So what do I write on the side here? 2a. 3a plus b. A plus b plus c. And that is standard people.
So Mrs. Patel is waiting for her geo class.
Sorry?
Mrs. Patel is waiting for her geo class.
For geo class.
So the period's over. Yeah, so it's already done.
Okay. So I'll send it now. Okay, so firstly divide by 2, so a is equal to 3 over 2. You substitute that into there. So it's 3 into 3 over 2 plus b is equal to minus 6. Can somebody just collect the scripts, please? See order. So minus 6 minus 3 into 3 over 2. Minus 6 minus 3 times 3 over 2. Minus 21 over 2. And c is going to be 3 over 2 plus negative 21 over 2 plus c is equal to 10. So c is 10 minus, answer minus, the answer blank. So therefore, Tn is equal to, for T25, is equal to A, which is 3 over 2, 25 squared, minus 21 over 2 times 25 plus 19. That gives me an answer of 694. And we'll stop the video at this point. Bye.